Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are talking about how to deal with grief. How do you deal with grief? How burdensome has it been for you at a personal level, as a family, as a friend, as a neighbor? Share your story with us, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So before we went on a break, Grace had asked you, uh, are you not thinking of relocating your dad from the village to the vicinity around you and your siblings?
Okay. At the moment, we try to work out in that there's someone always around.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, we haven't come to that time, but maybe taking care of the house, or maybe preparing something for him for maybe to eat and all that, so that at least he doesn't feel burdened. Um, Maybe that is something that we should maybe come together as siblings, but it's for him is he's comfortable in the living there. It's not that it's just that that loneliness that is there. But
Because I can imagine if when your mother was there, you could take even your children. We are in this stage whereby ikifika holiday, unawaship wote ushago and you're left alone to enjoy that space of being a mother with no children. Because because children can be a handful
yeah,
at times, so you just rather endeni msumbue shosho huko. But shosho on the other hand is very excited for them being around because she's everywhere. But now with your dad alone, are you able to do that?
oh, with my dad. Okay, sometimes like I say the activities that we do here and there, he comes. Maybe there's a certain place we meet, a location that is comfortable with him. He comes, spend time with, of course, his grandchildren, and enjoys that time. It's not that we don't, maybe not at often, but we do spend time with him. And sometimes he comes even and visits us here in Nairobi, even if it's for a couple of days or even hours, because he's not that far. So it's somewhere where we can go and see him. And also my big bro, he takes that opportunity to go and visit him every now and often, almost like the weekends. He usually goes there, and then because now there's the farm that they have to take care of and all that, and the many things that have to be settled in the farm, because now you see my mom is not there, and she was a very good farmer also. She was a teacher and also very good in farming. So there are things that also that have to be taken care of the farm. So of course his presence has to be there also. But there's someone that uh, is there to always look after the things that need to be looked after and make sure that he's okay. And they're also his family is also there. Uh, the they also come and check up on him every now and often. So and then now he's also a church person. So they usually have meetings that he goes. When the other day he was sending us videos, he's in a choir.
Wow.
He's singing. So you see, even though maybe it's the only time that maybe he's at the house, it's when now he feels that loneliness. But he usually has other activities that he's doing when he's not in the house. If it's not the farm, maybe akona wazee wengine huko nje, and the family members wako huko nje wanaongea kidogo, and if not that, maybe kuna church, or unajua ushago kuna kwanga tu mkutano hapa pale, so there's two activities here and there at least inamweka busy. Yeah,
So true. As we are in the last segment of this episode or this show today, we were supposed to have a counselor, but apparently he and or she couldn't make it on time. Today he had other issues to handle. Uh, this is to ask if the counselor was here, or you given that chance to be with the counselor, what are the things that you would want this counselor to address or articulate so that I'll surely bring him whether you're here or not. But those are the things maybe as you ask for yourself and also for the viewer who is at home and going through the same. What are those things that you'd want maybe to hear a counselor address so that when he comes next, he can address them as well?
Um, I think I would ask about the stages. Is it okay for one to skip, or later on, eventually, will it come to affect me in any way? Because I know I've skipped a part. So, like, I would really want to know. And then I would also want to know about, like, how long should a person grieve? Because I look at my grandfather. Uh, he stays in Nairobi, but of late he went back to Shags. So I don't know how long should one grieve. I feel like he's still in that stage of I've just lost my wife, I've just lost my son. He's just lonely. It's like he's just not himself. Like, how long should one grieve?
At a personal level,
Mm-hmm.
how long do you think one should grieve? Before the
Um,
counselor answers you that.
um, for me, I have no idea because this is the first time something like this has actually happened to me, and I really can't say I have an answer to that.
Because I'm trying to think. I think everyone is unique
Mm-hmm.
because we all mourn differently. There's
Indeed.
those of us that you think, like for you, you say being the strongest person in your family. Maybe me, if I didn't know you being strong, the strongest person for your mom and your dad, if I was there and I didn't know you and didn't get to understand what you're going through and how you're managing it, maybe I'd look and say, this one even doesn't feel anything. Because I think most of the time we associate grief with crying, with the bitterness, with the chaos that comes around it. But there are those, God help, that they're so calm in it, and you even wonder because, like I mentioned, even for personally, I've also gone through grief, but I think me, I was so calm to an extent you wouldn't have thought that I've lost a sister. You wouldn't. Later is when I realized, that time when you want something to be done for you by hand, you're like, she's nowhere to be found. But yeah, he's going to answer that when he comes. Any other thing?
I think for now that's it.
That's it.
Yes.
What would you want to hear? No, those are the questions that you've asked. Did you get the chance to maybe interact with a counselor during that process?
No, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I had to manage it by myself. Oh, plus, I think as a family, we always have to talk about it. You don't keep it inside. So I think that's how it has actually also helped my family and me to like try to accept it a little bit quicker. But yeah, I think I didn't talk to any counselor. Yeah.
So talking is a therapy for you.
Yes.
It's a deal breaker.
Actually, it's a deal breaker for our family because that's what we do. You remember the mukutanos with my dad always,
Yeah.
yeah.
How are
So,
they?
uh, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what has actually also helped him to accept it slowly by slowly, but it's still a process. So
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay. And for you, what would you want maybe if the counselor was here, what are those questions that you'd want to hear him answer?
For me, I would say the management of the anger, because it gets to a point it's just out of control, and then it you get to hurt even those around you, because sometimes unaweza jibu mtu vibaya, sio ati they've asked you just a simple question, and because of the feelings zenye umeiweka ndani, you now respond with anger and you don't even notice, wewe unaendelea na shughuli zako, so this other person now gets hurt. So in that process, how do you manage, that the anger, and also how do you like get the closure? How do you like get to open up, because you have a mixture of emotions and you don't know how, because at that time people washakwambia, oh pole, Mungu ako na wewe, nini nini, and they're like, we are with you, but it's that wamekuandikia tu message, wamekwambia, but mtu anaendelea tu na shughuli zake, wewe ndio utabaki hapo una feel whatever you're feeling. So how do you, how do you cope with that, and how do you, open up also, so that it doesn't affect you so much that you unaingia sana into depression? How do you go through this process? Do sasa now everything is, I know it's a grieving process, but how do you go through it so that it's the stage, but after this I'm going to come out of it better and stronger.
You mentioned something very interesting. Maybe it's the question that you want the counselor to answer about the closure bits. What is closure to you? What if I'm to ask you, what is closure to you, and how would you define it, and how would it make sense to you? So for you to say, me, I had closure and now I've made peace with it and I'm good to go. Julian.
Closure. What does closure mean? To me, I am not really sure, but I think maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. But closure, I think it's that moment where you say, "That's all good. I'm good with it," and I think I'm ready to live my life now. Whatever happened, it was God's will, and I can now live my life in peace. I'm not sure, but I think for me, I'm still in the acceptance stage. So I don't think I still have that closure. I think it's gonna take a while so that I can actually, have it, completely have it, because it's just been a month. So actually not a month, a few weeks. So I think I'm not yet there, because I still, there's the habit we used to do, like once I go from church, now coming back, we used to go to my grandma's every single Sunday. We used to go there, we just sit with her, she tells us stories. So there's this habit that I'm still not yet, like, it's not something that I'll be doing. So every time I'm from church, I'm like, Mom, are we going to church? And then I remember, oh, church is no more. So I think I haven't gotten that closure yet.
I was to ask you the same question, but that's the question you're asking the counselor. So I can't bounce it back to you. But I think with that, I'm being told you're out of time. Maybe we can give you a parting shot and also look forward to hearing the counselor answer those questions. Maybe to start with you. Grace, what is your parting shot?
It's just put your faith in God. Don't give up on Him, because sometimes during this grieving process, you may feel like He's not there, but there's a learning process, like we said yesterday. It's a learning process, so that we may trust in Him. So just hold on, don't let go of your faith in Him, and always just, if they're family members, just stay together, grieve together, and at the end of it all, you're going to be strong. So just keep your faith strong.
Keep your faith strong. And to you, Julian?
For me, I'll say cherish all the moments that you have with everybody around you, because you never know when it's your time. And in as much as we all have busy lives, someone can call you and tell you, hey, can we go for coffee? Can we go for maybe our party or something? Always make time for them, because you never know when it's your last. And all in all, put God first in everything. in as much as grieving is a very hard time, always trusting God, because in the end, He will always guide you towards the right path.
Thank you, ladies, for coming and for sharing your story. I know it's not easy, but indeed, I'm sure our viewer has learned a lot. I've also learned something from this interaction. Viewer, I hope you've learned as much as I have. Let's continue these conversations. Share your story, your comments, your question across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.